If you've ever wondered how much a small bookish business can make, then stick around because I'm going to be sharing my April monthly revenue and how it compared to the rest of this year. Hi, I'm Daisha, and welcome back if you're new. On this channel, I talk about my small bookish business. I show behind the scenes how I create content to promote it and just how I run a small business out of a little room in my house. So if that interests you, then come along. So today I'm going to be sharing how much money I made across the platforms I sell on, which are Etsy, TikTok Shop, and then I also had a couple that came at me off of social media or off of those selling platforms, and I use a different way to have them pay. So we're going to talk about all of that. For some context on my shop, I sell annotation kits. So you might have seen annotated books before where people like take tabs, pens, highlighters, and things like that and mark up their books. So I sell kits for people to be able to start that. Also sell books that are already annotated by yours truly. Also have some stickers, blind date with the book, bookmarks, things like that. So just things that book lovers would use. So my main focus or my main store is my Etsy shop, and I've had that open for a year now. Actually, yeah, I didn't even think about doing like an anniversary thing. Yeah, so my shop's been open for a year as of April 17th, and it's been a learning experience. I've definitely had a good time, learned a lot of things. And then I opened my TikTok shop maybe in January. So that's been a couple of months. And then also had some people reach out to me in other ways, and I just handled their orders off that, like I already said. So let's get to the point what you're already focused on. Okay, so for some reason, Etsy isn't letting me specifically see each month because I was trying to compare each month to what I did this month. Just know if you haven't seen those other videos, I do have one for I think January and February. I don't think I did one for March. But for those other months, I do have a breakdown of how much money I made, and it was nothing compared to this month. So this month in revenue, or in April, I guess I should say, April revenue, I made $1,092.88 on Etsy. And that is just remarkably better than anything I've done so far this year. It was kind of disheartening to start out the year with it being that low because I had all these ambitions and like I've been doing my 12-week year and I had these ideas that I wanted to hit and it was not hitting. But we are seeing some uptick. I did have some bulk orders, which really helped push that number a little bit higher for Etsy, and that did really help. Just as some transparency, I do run Etsy ads. So in the month of April, I spent $337 on ads. But from that ad spend, I made $860 in revenue. So the majority of the money that I made on Etsy did come from running ads. So I have no regrets on that. You know, whatever you want to do, that's your business. I think that did play a big role in the revenue I made in April. It says Etsy brought 60% of visits to my store, and then I brought 39 visits to my store during this time. And I've always thought that it was weird that I guess because I'm paying for Etsy ads, that's why it's under the amount that I brought. And just to talk about my best sellers this month, um, the item that had the most orders would be my annotation kits. So that's like my best seller. I had about 30 orders of just annotation kits. And then the magnetic annotation kit, which is very similar, I had 13 of those. The item that cost the most this month at $300 in revenue was the annotation bulk kit that I'm getting ready for a publishing company. So that's pretty awesome. And annotated books always have a nice revenue because they are a little bit more expensive. So I want to look at TikTok Shop now. I'm going to change the dates. And the interesting thing about TikTok Shop, I didn't have any orders the majority of the month. All right, so I wasn't selling anything. All right, so for TikTok Shop, I made a total of $368.35. And if you've seen my most recent video, I talked about how I woke up to an order for $285 and it was for annotated books. So that was the majority of it. But I did also sell like non-annotation kits. So TikTok Shop has been very hit or miss. So like either I get no sales or they're like off the charts. But what I'm noticing, and I'm looking at it now, a lot of the orders are coming from videos that I'm making, and that just shows me that I need to be more consistent and actually like posting videos of products on TikTok Shop. Like I feel like I'm newer to TikTok and I'm used to Instagram, but I feel like I have to treat the two differently, and I haven't been. So I'm definitely going to spend more time like promoting and making more like videos specifically for TikTok. And then I also want to like play around with going live on TikTok because I know you can like do like pack order videos, and like people can buy from that video. So that is something that I also want to get into, because honestly, like they TikTok Shop orders right now just feel random for me, but I feel like I can utilize it. And if you don't know, TikTok Shop, honestly, their interface, not great. I don't like the platform itself, like like how it looks for a seller perspective. However, they take less money in fees than Etsy, like for transactions, and the shipping on TikTok Shop is cheaper than the options that they give you on Etsy. So do with that what you will. All right, another order came through for me, and this order came specifically from Instagram. And I was like, so the first one that was a bulk order came through on Etsy. So because we started, she messaged me on Etsy. We had to stay on Etsy. However, the other girl messaged me on Instagram. And I was thinking, I do not want to have to put her through to Etsy if I don't have to, because she came to me personally. Etsy did not help me get that sale. I do not want to have to pay Etsy the transaction fee. So when she asked me for the invoice, I actually sent her a I actually had to start a PayPal business account because I did not have one, because this has not happened to me yet. So I started a PayPal business account to be able to send her the invoice and checkout. It was so easy to do. So I made $105 off of that order. It's 30 annotation kits, which I actually packed up and they are ready to go. Also have a video of that coming too, just going through the whole process and just talking about my thoughts on like getting bulk orders and stuff like that. But I just noticed PayPal just took a much smaller transaction fee, and I'm happy I went that route instead of like creating her a listing and having her check out through Etsy. And then the last order that I had for the month was for $50, and that was for actually one of my bosses. So I'm a teacher, and one of my assistant principals is getting married, and he wanted some stickers for his wedding. So I cut the stickers for him. So it was 150 matte Kiss Cut stickers, and I charged him $50, mostly because I don't have like a cute setup for those. Like it was literally just a sheet full of stickers. And for me, it wasn't a big, like, my overhead cost for that was very low. So it was mostly just my time, and honestly, all I was doing, I put all of the sheets I needed in there, hit print, it printed all of them, and I just cut them. So that might seem like cheap, but I didn't mind, especially doing it for somebody that I know personally for their big day. So overall, let's do some calculations. How much is that? So for the month of April, my small business brought in $1,616.23 in revenue. And I truly cannot complain. Like after the months I just had, this definitely feels like an upward trend that I'm just very excited to see, because it was stressful. I was like, man, I had this like great run, and then like, is it over? And I'm happy to see it's not over, and I have some ideas to keep the momentum going. So I'm excited. So thank you for hanging out with me, just always supporting me, watching these videos. Chime in, let me know, are you a seller? How was your month? Anything I can help you with, anything like that, let me know down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all of those things. Let me know what you want to see in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.